Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another pick a card reading. Welcome to Embodied Consciousness. If this is your first time here, you can call me T. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So the topic for this one here today, guys, is going to be what's blocking you. It's going to be a manifestation reading. We're going to be looking at the six tensions or the six controversies that are related to whatever it is that you're trying to bring about in your life, or whatever you're trying to manifest. And then after we talk about each of those and how they relate to the overall energy, we're going to grab some advice from the Law of Attraction the Law of Attraction cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks for some advice. So as you guys can see here, I have four groups. We have four groups today. And the first one here is going to be the Universal Tarot. The second one is the Rider. The third one is the Hermetic Tarot. And the last one is not tarot, it's an oracle deck. This is the Gypsy Oracle. I thought that would be pretty fun. Mix things up, keep things interesting. So I'll give you a moment here to take a moment, take some deep breaths, and pick one of these groups here, and the timestamps for each will be below the video. If you're here, then you chose group 1. Let's get a good shuffle, and then we'll talk about these. All right, group number 1, in the situation. So this whole situation, what it's all relating to, the reason why you're here is that I do think that something's fishy. Something doesn't smell right. I think that you know that something is not working out, and you understand very, very well that, well, I think that you want to control it. I think that you want to prevent it from getting to that point. Like, you want to prevent something from destructing. You want to prevent something from falling apart. And I think that you know that there is some kind of evil around, or there is some kind of end that is coming. So right now it's like a scramble. It's like a mad dash to course correct, to fix things, to do some damage control is what I feel like you're doing, group 1. I think that you feel like the energy is a bit like it's a bit discombobulated. And forgive me, guys, I'm trying to get out of saying how you feel, because I think that is at rest with you, and my role here is not to tell you how you feel, but just to explain what's coming through in the cards. So that's something that I'm working on, and I just don't want you to think that I'm like telling you how you feel, you know what I mean? So like I was saying, the energy coming off of this tells me that the situation, there's some discombobulation. I think that there's an imbalance, particularly in between the mind and the heart. I think that those chakras, like your third eye and your heart chakra, they are needing to like they need to get on the same page, group 1. I think that what your mind wants and what your heart wants are two different things. They're perhaps at odds with each other. And if they're not two completely different things, I think that were once they something in your life, some passions, something, it's there was harmony there. You were able to find a reason for being invested in something, a reason for feeling a certain way about something. But there's just been a change that has happened here, and I think that you guys making sense of it is something that is challenging, because it looks like there's some foul play somewhere. So where I think a lot of this tension is coming from is that there are some things that you can't control, and that's how other people are going to move, right? That's always the wild card. And I think that it has a tendency to come back on you or hurt you, or you may be feeling the effects of this, of the seeing or feeling the effects of this right now, where somewhere in your life, or where you are energetically, it's like someone took something from you. The first one coming out here is the Knight of Wands. So I think that you guys, the first tension, the first thing that's really charging this whole situation is that you really want to do something about it. And it's that kind of drive or push that you get to correct things or to set the record straight if there's been foul play at hand. You know, no one ever wants to take that line down. So I think that a tension here that you may be experiencing is that there is a very strong desire to not just sit on your hands. You want to do something about it. And I think that it kind of makes your skin crawl. And there's also like disbelief here. And I do think that there's also there could have been some betrayal. There could be some betrayal. Now, the other tension that's here, group number one, the other controversy is the Three of Wands. I'll refer to them as controversies going forward. The idea for this spread, by the way, came from a tarot book I have, the Holistic Tarot. So the pick a card readings, I'm gonna lean more towards spreads going forward. I think that those are really helpful in keeping things organized. Anywho, sidebar. So next here, the Three of Wands. Another controversy that's here is that you also want to leave, right? You want to leave because to get sucked into this, I think that whatever this situation is, it is pretty toxic. And I think that you perhaps have wanted to depart for a very, very long time, but that could just be it. Like, there's something to do here with timing. There's something to do here with planning, and also to do with commitments. Either other people not honoring theirs, or feeling as though you are beholden to someone, that you are trapped within a situation. Yeah, the Four of Cups. So there's some dissatisfaction with this. The thing about it, it's like there's no pleasing you as well. I think that I don't know, do you want to keep doing this? Is the way that the reading is going so far. I think that there's a lot of exhaustion. I think that someone has, like, your energy has been drained. Your energy has been drained, and I think that for as much effort and as much work as you have put in, you don't have a lot to show for it, or what you have gotten, it's like it hasn't quenched your thirst. I think that your vision for the future, or where you see yourself, is in this Empress position. As someone who is very well off, someone who's very well taken care of. Let's just get all of them out. First time doing the spread, guys, so bear with me. But let's go ahead and talk about each of these now collectively. I think that there is something that is not sitting right with you, group one. It's like someone has done you wrong, someone has betrayed you, someone has fed you dreams. I think that someone has spoon-fed you dreams, and you were led to believe one thing, and it has ended up being another, or just the way that the situation is being handled. It's not above board, and there's a lot to be desired here. The Empress card, from the perspective of a controversy, is I think that there's something about your energy group one, where it's like you are a master of sorts. There's something that you're very good at, and you have you are credentialed. You are credentialed in whatever department, or wherever, what in excuse me, in whatever field that you are a part of. And I think that for that reason you're someone who is looked to, and that it goes back to that sense of obligation, perhaps that sense of duty, that has you feeling shackled to a situation that you are otherwise tired of. Looking at the death card here, I think that there needs to be more truth, right? It's like there's just you can't shake this feeling that someone is keeping something from you, that you're not being told the whole truth. And I think that you would benefit from more direct communication, but I do think that the energy overall is a bit childish. You guys could be dealing with a Taurus, a Libra, a Scorpio, or a Sagittarius, or you could be one of those signs. You could be one of those signs, group one. But the Page of Wands coming through here, I think that the workload and the struggles far outweigh the good news that's coming in. And I think that any good news that comes in is very fleeting. There's I think that there are things that you guys are having to do that you don't want to do anymore. You don't want to do anymore. And it's like, it goes back to what I was talking about when it comes to the heart and the mind needing to become balanced once again. It's your heart. I feel group one is no longer in something. I think that you have been betrayed. I think that you are tired. I think that you know that some kind of situation is relying on you, but it's like, for the life of you, group one, you can't get any honesty from the situation. You can't, people are not very forthcoming, the people that are around you. So there is this kind of energy drain effect of the situation right now, where you're having to just work and work and work. Despite wanting to turn tail and go in another direction out of a sense of duty or obligation to a situation. So I get, why this is difficult to deal with. So what's blocking you here? I think that we first must be aware of the fact that, group one, you have the ability to determine the course that your life takes. And as far as what's blocking you, it's tough, because I think that you are actively making a decision to stay in something. You're actively making a decision to stay rooted, even though you know that something about the situation has been long over, even though you know that it doesn't it's only going to go so far. And I think that when it comes to honesty, when it comes to things being done above board, no tricks, no games, no misleading, I think that is very hard to come by in the current environment that you guys are in, or just in the friend group, or with the people that are surrounding you. There's a tendency to color the truth, or to make you think that something is one way when it's in fact another. I think that this actually looks quite cruel now that I'm looking at it from another perspective here. It's almost like what's being done to you and around you, it's having this effect where, so it could go one or two ways. It's having this effect where it's changing the way that you view yourself in the situation, because it's so difficult to deal with, because it has become so toxic. It has you now questioning your integrity, and now it has you now questioning your role and questioning what you have been bringing to the situation, what you have been producing. So it's gotten to that point, group one, that's where you are right now. And it's like it has you feeling like a more diminished version of yourself, as a byproduct of the manipulation. This could also be an opportunity here for you to be reborn in some way, shape, or form. And I think that what could be blocking you is that I do think that you have the urge, there is a willingness to help here as well. There's a willingness to continue to give even though you are dissatisfied, even though you may not be getting anything in return. And you give willingly because you have to give, so it makes you a very easy resource to take advantage of. Cruel. You know, that's what I meant when I said that. And that is what is blocking you right now when it comes to manifesting whatever it is that you would like, group one. I leave that to you. I think that there needs to be some distance in between the influences of other people and the intentions that they have, the ideas that they have in mind for you, and what they want from you. When it comes to, what's that old saying? You give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, he will eat for the rest of his life. So just something to think about when it comes to when you're giving your energy to something, or when you're constantly helping. You can still do that and still be able to manifest, and still not get distracted and knocked off of your path. You don't have to compromise that part of yourself if you enjoy that. You don't have to let the hard world make you hard as well. You know what I mean? So it's in giving in a different way. If you would still like to do that in a way that you make someone able to provide for themselves, where that's how you put an end to the codependency. If you still want to, to be that source of help for whoever, to support whoever, because it's getting to the point where more and more is being taken from you, group one, and it's impacting your ability to manifest, is what's happening here. So let's look at the advice. All right. So we got a couple, and for these, I like to we take all that come out for these. So the first one here that came out here says, I can reach for a better feeling thought. This is card number 33. So threes may be significant. That's about divine flow. We may be seeing 3-3. This one says, from your non-physical vantage point, you understood the eternal evolving nature of your being and the promise that this leading edge contrasting environment held. You understood the powerful law of attraction and the fairness and accuracy with which it responds to the free will of all creators. By reaching for the best feeling you thought you can find, you will shiver with exhilaration as you reconnect with your purpose, with your zest for life, and with you. So there's a soul retrieval that needs to happen here, and this card is wanting you guys to go within and get in touch. We were talking about the heart chakra and the third eye chakra coming into balance, finding your purpose once again. It can get lost, or you can stray, from that path when you are the source of inspiration, or you're constantly the source of supply or support for someone else. It does take a lot of strength to continue to hold your wants and your needs and and your desires. And it takes a lot of strength to still prioritize those. It's a very important act of self-love to make sure that you are not giving to the point that you have nothing left and it's impacting your life, but giving in a more in a more methodical way, in a way that will teach someone to take care of themselves. The next one here says, I am learning to allow well-being in. Card number 44. I love the art on these. So this one says, the art of allowing is, I am that which I am, and I am pleased and joyful in it. And you are that which you are, and while you are different from that which I am, I can allow that, for it is also good. So group number one, whatever someone wants to be, let them be that and let that be what it is. And hold that same attitude when it comes to yourself. This is card number 44. So you guys got 33 and 44. This is a very, very spiritual pile, a very selfless pile. It makes sense because you give so much, group one, to the point to your own detriment, to the point that it is hurting you. So there's a kind of self-sacrificing there's a kind of self-sacrificing element to your personality that is not unlike many religious icons, I'll say, that are also associated with sacrificing either themselves or pleasure or something loved or sought after in the physical that makes them more attuned to the non-physical, which is why I say this is a very spiritual pile. It's no coincidence that those who are the most awakened are those who have experienced some kind of trauma or are those who have been a part of dynamics like these that are draining. There could be a lot of empaths in this group here as well. All right, so that's your advice here. I'll hold them up again and I'll read them again. I am learning to allow well-being in. Allow it in, group one. And this one says, I can reach for a better feeling thought. Think positively. Let your hair down is also what I'm seeing here. All right, that was your reading, group one. Thanks so much for joining me here. I will see you guys next time. Bye. All right. You're up, group two. Let's get a few shuffles and then we'll take a look. All right. World card for the situation here. All right, group number two, I think that when it comes to your goals and how you guys work towards those, there's a lot of confidence that's coming through for you here. I think that with the world card, there's a can-do attitude about you. And when it comes to what you bring to the situation, there's vulnerability, there is authenticity, and there's also acceptance when it comes to your purpose. And I feel as though the people who were drawn to group two, you have a very close relationship with the physicality. I think that you guys are very grounded. This is a group, yep, you guys are very grounded. This is a group that is very down to earth. And I think that you are able to work towards your goals and your dreams with there's a steadfastness about you, and I think that you're steady. I think that there are a lot of dark horses in this group. When it comes to the situation, overall as well, I think that you are trying to make a decision, perhaps when it comes to whether you're trying to make a decision about where to go next, so I do think that some of you may want to relocate to a different part of the country, to another state. this group may travel a lot or may want to, and I think that there's a lot that's going into the decision making process is how you're going to fund that. I think that this is a you're all about the practical approach, and I think that you're all about organization as well as planning. Now, the first controversy here is the tower. And perhaps it's the realization that sometimes things don't go according to plan. Sometimes things don't always work out. There are those variables that are that are unforeseen and perhaps could have been avoided. But if we open up that door to the should have, could have, would have's, you'll that's a trap that you have a very difficult time getting out of. But when we talk about the Tower card, we talk about some change, something drastic that really needs to happen here. And I think that it's the wrench, that we never want to see when it comes to our plans. And I think that there may be other people involved. There may be institutions or obligations or just something that you are not seeing. So there's something group 2 that you're not considering, but it's a very big and I think it would really impact the overall situation. It looks like it's something that carries a lot of weight, and whatever this realization is, whatever this truth is here that you need to see, I think it will help you in maintaining things here. We're gonna get some more here, of course, and see what all this is about. And we get the Tower card. So big energy, group 2, big energy. I think that you are impatient. I'm just gonna come out and say it, and it's important that we're honest about that. And I mean, I'm in Aries. I'll be the first one to tell you, so I'm not exempt from this. If there are places that you want to go, things that you want to do, I think that the fact that it's not happening fast enough is something that is weighing you down. I think that it's distracting you. So the pace, I think, is perhaps that is the wrench, or that is the surprise that we are unfortunately having to make peace with. I think that there's something, group 2, that you're realizing is going to take a bit longer than what you had hoped. And that's the thing about it too, like there's a lot of hope and a lot of faith in your energy. And I think that you have been praying and wishing for something to happen, and you have a plan in place. You write things down. You say, okay, this is going to happen on this particular date, and then you work towards it, and you're taking all the necessary small steps. But something comes along and it delays the plan. And I find that group 2, you don't want to have to go back and having to continuously rework the plan, having to constantly go back to the drawing board is what I feel like is the most annoying about this particular situation. Yeah, it's the slowness of it all. It's it's here. It's the slowness of it all, and I think that the approach that you're having to adopt, it's like you don't have any choice in it. That's what makes it just that much harder. I think that if you could get there much faster, you would make that decision at the drop of a dime. When it comes to making any choices, you may not even be going back and forth about what exactly it is that you want, because I do get a lot of surety in your energy. You guys know what you want here. But I do think that there is some frustration when it comes to how quickly it's all materializing in your life. Time with the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, we were picking up on it. And I think that you are perhaps hoping for a turn of events, something to change, some kind of windfall of cash, some obstacle just disintegrating, so that you'll be able to speed up the plan a bit more, because I do think that the plan has seen setbacks, and with each day that goes by, like which with each day that perhaps judgment day, or the day when things are really supposed to happen, the deadline that you guys had, it's like as you get closer to that date and things are not where they need to be yet, or you're not anymore you're not anymore secure, then at this particular point, than where you thought you would be, it gets more and more frustrating. I think that what is also hard is finding time for rest and recuperation. I think that there may be a lot of it happening. There could be a lot of indulging, maybe some self-medicating, or just partying a bit too hard that is distracting you, group two. I mean, have a great time. There's no judgment here, but it's showing up here as a controversy. So there's a need here to ground your energy, and to come back into balance, and find the vision once again. I do feel that money is playing a role here. I think that has something to do with how quickly this dream is coming about. So those of you who chose this pile, you may feel as though the money is just not looking right. It's not all there. You have very big dreams, that you want, that are where in which you are taking the world by storm, but that's going to come at a price. It's going to cost you something. I feel the need to repeat that, because it may not be strictly financial. It could be something to do in the physicality, something to do with something that you view as a source of security, as a part of your foundation, is what this could be about. But there just seems to be not enough of it that would make you free enough, or able to move on down your path. Let's see what else we can get off of these. Overall here, group number two, I think that you are just ready. You're tired of waiting. You're tired of delaying the inevitable. I think that you know that you're going to get here. So that's why you may be carrying yourself in this world card, energy. You have the energy of someone who's very hopeful that it's all going to work out in the end, despite all of these surprises. It's that you can kind of feel intuitively that it is going to work out. And it will. But I think, as far as what's blocking you, I think that you should accept surprises, accept challenges as a part of life. And there aren't things that you're going to be able to just completely avoid and plan for. It's going to be impossible to plan for something going wrong. But being still is what really helps you face those challenges head on, so that you'll be able to overcome them just that much quicker, rather than letting them overcome you or overwhelm you, group two. And even though the situation is moving forward slowly, key words here: moving forward. So don't allow the pace of something to trick you into believing that you're not manifesting, or that you'll never accomplish your dreams, that you'll never get there. And there isn't any shame in going back to the drawing board. I think that there may be some, you may get hypercritical of yourself when you have to adjust things, or when you have to fix something that you thought was already fixed, but having to go back and reorganize and course correct is proving to be a bit odious. And there isn't anything wrong with that. It's a dance, right? Because the product that you guys are going to end up with when you're at the end of it, it's going to be in the eye of the beholder. So if you're going to get upset, we got to be honest about our process and our standards as well, and what we ultimately want in our life. So if you are having to switch things around, because you now feel this way about it, then, don't punish yourself for doing that, for wanting things to go for wanting to stay true to the vision, for wanting to keep the dream alive. Don't punish yourself for wanting to change things now because that vision has changed, or who you want to be when you get there is someone different. There isn't any shame in that, and you should not be looking to your left or to your right to see what pace someone else is on. We're all on different paths, but we're all working towards the same ends. We all have the same goal in mind, which is to be happy, which is to feel fulfilled, to live a very fulfilled life. So the pace that you guys are on, don't judge yourself for that, and try not to let the gaze of others scare you when it comes to making executive decisions about your path. Don't make them with how you're going to be viewed in mind. I think that is a slippery slope into destruction. It's best to just stay true to you and stay true to who you are and what you guys want to see in your life. If the money's not looking right and it's forcing you to stay where you are, to just work things out, then there isn't anything that you can do about that except, save more. You know what to do here. You know what needs to be done, because I get the sense that you are bringing it back into balance. You're bringing it into alignment, and you're still holding this position. But I do think that finances are a concern here somewhere. So you're having to take a step back. There is a delay here. What is it that Drake said? I think he said, sometimes life forces us to calm down. And it's true. Sometimes life forces us to calm down, and you can't really do anything except calm down, right? Okay, let's take a look at the advice. This one was funny. Okay, let's see. I see so much of myself in this group too. When it comes to the patience, the lack thereof. I too have, this is something that I work on, and it's been very interesting and eye-opening to me. I don't mind sharing this with you guys. It's very interesting and eye-opening to me to see the different ways that impatience can manifest itself. It's like we feel that way subconsciously, and it leads us to act in certain ways, or say something, or say certain things in an effort to hurry the process along. It's just kind of funny when you catch yourself doing it, right? Okay, so the one that came out here is, my goal of happiness is important enough. This one says, the reason you are not conscious of any specific pre-birth goals is because there were no specific goals. You had before your birth general intentions, such as being happy, being an uplifter, having continuing growth, but the specific process to achieve those things are up to you to decide here and now. In this time, you are the creator. I cannot think of a more perfect card to come out for you when it comes to the process on going back to the drawing board. And this is drawing your attention to the power of the now. There's a book that Eckhart Tolle has, The Power of Now. I encourage you to check that out. Definitely check that out. That was a message, most definitely. But this is letting you know here that we didn't come into this life with a set plan. We didn't come into this life with an itinerary. There were the general intentions that all of those who are born with, the right to live a fulfilled and happy life. This is what we were talking about. But when it comes to the process of how you're going to get there, that's something that is developed over time, and that is something that is developed while you are living, and that is something that is developed now. It's constantly being done, so there is no shame in taking another look at that process. You guys are the creator. You have the ability to frame your life in your own eyes. It's in the image of the beholder. You see how perfect this card was? I love when this happens, because this lets me know that it was meant just for you. This is card number 54, so 5s and 4s may be super significant for you. I encourage you to look into what 5s and 4s represent spiritually. Take a look at the numerology for those. All right, that was your reading, group 2. I cannot speak this evening. Long day. So that was your reading, group 2. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. All right. Hey, group 3. Let's get a good shuffle, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, this crystal, it's shaking, and that sound is gonna drive me nuts. All right. Overall energy here, group 3. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So in this position here, it represents the situation. And I think that this, in a very straightforward way, could be about money. When it comes to manifestation, this may be the motivator, or what may be holding you back. We're going to expand on these and pull some additional cards, of course, to see what this is speaking about. But this is about opportunity. This is about the new. This is about something tangible, something that has materialized. So group number 3, if you chose this, and it's not about, it's not about money specifically. What this could also be about is just you having. You may be a very result-oriented group, and what you're seeking right now is some proof. You're seeking something tangible, something real, group 3. That's what you guys are wanting to see. And the struggle right now that you may be feeling could be that you are on the cusp of this, or you are longing for this, or you can feel it, but there's just something that is preventing you from really embracing this or seeing this in your reality. The first one here coming out is the Hangman. So group number 3, there's the reason that something has not been actualized. The reason that it hasn't been achieved yet is that there is a pause that needs to happen here, like a going back to the drawing board, because there's something else that needs to be seen. There's something else that needs to be known, and it's like it requires you to stop for a second. It requires you to really ponder, and it's like in doing so, in taking that step, is when you will become enlightened about something here, but it starts with the pause, it starts with the break, and I feel like the reason why it's showing up is in the position of a controversy is that you may not really want to do that right now. So group three, you're the go-getters. You're about the Ace of Pentacles. Is you're very result oriented. So be um to be in stagnation or to take a rest can feel like it's just starting off the whole plan. But it's looking like here it's necessary, and there's a knowing here that it is, because it's like in doing that, you will find a lot of answers to the questions that you guys have about how it is that you're going to get here. Seven of Cups, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. There's a decision that needs to be made, and there is confusion, and there could be some indecision about what path to take. It's like, certain approaches or certain methods. Some things you know are just not going to work. But in order for you to really take a good look and reposition yourself and see things from a different perspective, it's like you guys need a bird's eye view here, a bird's eye view of the situation, and it will help you prepare for this journey. I think that the situation that you're dealing with right now, you don't like. Who has time here for illusions of success? I think that you want the real deal. You don't want to be misled or sold a dream, and most importantly, waste your time. So it's like something has to give, group three. Something has to give, and it will make you feel more sure. King of Pentacles, the epitome of certainty and also legacy. There may be a lot of earth signs in this pile. Taurus, also Capricorn, as well as Pisces. There could also be some Scorpios here. The end goal is most definitely clear. Group number three. The end goal is clear. Like I said, you guys are very result oriented. And I think that your need to be okay, your need to be stable, to be accomplished, it's almost like it's not allowing you to rest. It's making it harder for you guys to think clearly, because there's something here that is being missed. I think that your energy could be perhaps better optimized. There's a way here that you could get to the Ace of Pentacles that is smarter and not harder. Ace of Cups. I think that your feelings are directly related to your path to manifestation and to your pocketbook. They're having an effect on your ability to create, on your ability to plan in some way, in some way, shape, or form. Could have something to do with home. And also stepping out. Okay. All right, let's talk about these a bit more. That got interesting. That got interesting. The energy that shifted with this pile. Oh, and you know what it is too? Okay, this may be the love pile. We were talking quite a bit about finances, but that could be what this is as well. And the reason I say that is because sitting with this deck was this rose quartz over here. And rose quartz, as you know, is very good for its ability to make you more receptive to love, to make you more open to love. Now, okay, let's talk about it from that perspective. You know, I'm still gonna do justice to the other storylines if I see it here, but the love download just came in really strong. Okay, so let's talk about this here, group number 3. I think that you guys want something real. You guys want something real, period. There's been a lot of self-sacrifice. There's been a lot of self-sacrifice and a lot of someone has been sold a dream here. I think that there are perhaps shattered dreams or expectations. I think that there's been silence, but it's like the silence is very loud, group number 3. So there hasn't been movement. If this is a love situation, and if it's this is the manifestation reading, you know, but I want to be honest about what I feel here. And when it comes to manifestation, group number 3, you may want to manifest a relationship. You know, there it is, plain and simple. You know, that could be what you guys are wanting to manifest while you're here. And what's a point of controversy for you? And I'm looking at the Seven of Cups, the illusionary success, perhaps thinking that you have found it, but then realizing when you finally get in something, or when you finally get your hand on it, that it's not what you thought it would be, or that you were perhaps clinging to an ideal of sorts. And it's like you wanted someone to fit the mold. You wanted someone to measure up. But it's like, did that offer ever come? You know, like this showing up here in the position of a controversy, I think is very powerful, because it's like there's some taboo surrounding the Ace of Cups. There's some taboo around feelings, around being vulnerable, around being open and honest. You know, these feelings are typically expressed when they're the Ace of Cups, but coming up here as a controversy, I feel like there's an issue surrounding that expression of love, or that expression of feeling. It's like someone is incapable of doing that, or it's like they would have to sacrifice something or lose something in order to be a part of this. And is that really love? I think that there is something about your energy that has become very steadfast and committed to your happiness, committed to the real. And I think that there is a departure from holding things in. There's a departure from secrets, from just not speaking. If someone can go without talking to you for any length of time that is unreasonable, the question has to be asked about whether or not that person is putting in enough effort. So what's blocking this manifestation? What is blocking it? I do think that in your, and I'm going to say this in a voice that is a bit lower, a bit easier to listen to, because I don't want to make you mad. You guys give a lot. And I think that there are some ideals that you have. There's a vision of someone, a vision of love, if you will, if you know that Mariah Carey song. There's a vision of love that you have that you hold very dear, and it's like you will do anything to accomplish it, anything to achieve it. And you will sacrifice your peace of mind in order to sustain it. Now, is this something that you want to do? Is this something that is enjoyable? Absolutely not. I can't see anyone being thrilled about doing that. But is it love if you have to lose yourself for it? The King of Pentacles for me represents who you are in the physicality, your presence, the way that you are showing up. And I think that your ability to manifest has taken a blow. Your confidence may have taken a blow. I do think that the need for just new, something real, that desire, for actual results is very strong. As I said, you guys are very result oriented. So when something doesn't go according to plan, or there's just some frustration here, I don't want to say that something is just over, I don't want to say that at all, because the Hangman at most is a pause. It's not necessarily a clean break. It's just a hold up, hold your horses kind of moment that makes you think about what's really going on. Think before you act. Think about the path that you're on. Think about where you are emotionally invested. All right. Let's see what the advice is. Group number 3, you guys are the certified lover boys and the certified lover girls, or just certified lovers. All right, so we got card number 21. The law of attraction treats my imagination as reality. This one says, the universe, which is responding to the thoughts you are thinking, does not distinguish between a thought from your observation of some observed reality and a thought brought about by your imagination. In either case, the thought equals your point of attraction, and if you focus upon it long enough, it will become your reality. your powers of manifestation are very, very strong and heightened at this time, group number 3. And this card is letting you know that just as easily as you're able to vibrationally charge the good things that you believe are going to happen in your life, or that you vibrationally charge just how well the relationship and the connection is going, you can just as easily vibrationally charge a fear that you have about things falling through, or a fear that you have about just how bad it really is, just not believing in the goodness of it, the isness of it. It's how it really is in the present moment. And this card is really wanting you to be cognizant of how you think and feel about your circumstances, and how you think and feel about any breaks or pauses, any moments for reflection. Do we view silence as something to fear? Do we view a lack of communication as a referendum on the character of the person that we're dealing with? And I mentioned that earlier, about if someone is willing to not go very long periods, or it's if someone is willing to go very long periods without speaking to you, how much do they really care about you? I think that was it's related to exactly what I'm talking about here, because it represents the thought process. And it's really drawing our attention to how comfortable we are with silence, to how confident we are in our own energy, how much of an individual we are. So I think that ultimately it depends on the type of silence, it depends on your own circumstances, and it depends on the reality of what you are experiencing, right? It says it right here. Does not distinguish between a thought from your observation of some observed reality and a thought brought about by your imagination, the real and the fake, what's actually happening. I think that's how you're going to be able to classify any periods of silence. That's how you're going to be able to classify periods of analyze, I should say, periods of non-movement to really begin to make an informed decision about, or I guess I should say, come to an understanding about what you really have, just how real that is, and just how worth it is. But I do think that group number 3, the controversy, I think it's about silence. It's about inaction. It's about inaction. It's about what the mind does during that time. I see here someone very hopeful, someone wanting something real, someone wanting very stable, and kind of buckling under the pressure of wondering whether or not they have found that, or wondering whether or not they will ever find that, group number 3. And you will. Just hold that vibration. Hold that vibration, the positive one. And pay attention to what you are observing in your reality, and look at that with an objective mind. This situation calls for logic. You may have to do like some kind of Vulcan ritual where they suppress their feelings in order to make very clear, logical decisions. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. All right, that was your reading, group 3. I hope that you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Bye. All right, group number 3. You chose the Gypsy Oracle. These are more tricky to shuffle, but I'm gonna do my best. Whoa. Cards are flying. Okay, we're just gonna do it this way. Get out. So this was the card that fell. This was the card that fell. Uh, Haughtiness, which is another word for pride. That's why the peacock is here. So that's the wow, I cannot believe that that's the one that came out again. Um, so what is this about here, group number 4? These, what I love about these cards, they are very straightforward. So I think that the situation is about pride. There is a focus on that, and I think that it's having an effect on what you are experiencing at this time. That is the root of the stagnation. That's what's blocking this manifestation. It's pride in some way, shape, or form. Then we get here, young woman. Now, may be a young feminine. This could represent your energy here in the reading, but this is coming up in the position of one of the controversies. So when it comes in the context of the reading so far, and as I think about how this could relate to pride, group number 1, I think that perhaps you may feel like you're too young to do something, or maybe you may feel that there's more maturing to do, or that you have to perhaps know more, and that thought process or that belief showing up here is that's what's blocking the manifestation. That's what's blocking the manifestation here. This also could be about another person, someone, who you are dealing with, who you feel is maybe being a bit childish or a bit prideful when it comes to making a situation right. There's this kind of innocence that they may have, or just not know any better when it comes to how they are dealing with the situation. Next, we get here falseness coming out. I think that lies, dishonesty, deceit are most definitely having an effect here. Damn, group number 4. What's going on here? So let's get all these out because I really want to see the big picture. Where is this going? I know where this is going. Okay. Okay. So this is, if you chose group number 4, some of you guys may have just watched group number 3. And this is most definitely a love pile. And what do I mean by that? I think that you, group number 4, may have a love interest, and this love interest, significant other of yours, they're not really acting right. I think that this person is not being very forthcoming, or not being very open, and I think that this person is a bit of a player. This person is a bit of a player, or you may want to play the field. We have to look at these cards. We have to look at these cards collectively, and however the case may be, no matter who it is that is playing the field, there's a understanding here that it's doing more harm than good when it comes to manifestation. It's like things could be great, but it's like someone wants to live their glory days or relive their glory days, and they just want things, they want to be forever young. Group number 4. And I think that view, and I'm trying not to offend, so please don't take offense here. As I said, this could be about another person. There are a lot of people here. This view or perspective that you'll never grow old, or that they'll never grow old, is a source of struggle. We don't We only have so much time here in this form, right? And it can be very easy when things are going well to believe that you just have infinite chances, that you'll be able to, have another shot at something. And it's when that view is adopted that one becomes very cavalier about their responsibilities, and accountability goes out the window. So what's blocking the manifestation here is there's focus that needs to happen here. There needs to be focus, and there also needs to be restraint and practicality. There's a couple stories, so we'll take the love story first. Let's talk about that one. If you are dealing with someone, I think that this person knows that they've done something wrong. This person knows that you know about them. And I think that they know that you know about the other people. And you know that they are not very serious or not as invested, and you're tired. You're tired because it's like this never-ending story. It's like this never-ending cycle. There's always some kind of bullshit excuse. There's always a story. There's always something that you can be told to, you know what I mean? You guys have heard it all. And if this is not about love, group 4, then this is more so about focus, like I was saying, and there needing to be a channeling of the energy, and there's the reading is calling for carpe diem. You will not always have chances. You will not always you will not have limitless chances. It would be prideful to think that way. We must take advantage of the opportunities that are at hand and allow ourselves the opportunity to try and fail and grow and expand in order to avail those opportunities. Again, I'd like to see the big picture. These cards are pretty straightforward because they're oracle cards. So we're gonna grab the Law of Attraction Oracle here and see what can help us when it comes to what we want to attract here. Bottom line, period, I think that someone is looking for authenticity. Someone is looking for the real. I get the sense that you don't want to be lied to any longer, and you want commitment and an end to the games. We won't always be indestructible. There's only so much that you guys can put up with. All right, card number 1 coming out hot. This one says, I know who I really am. I love to see it. This says, you are an extension of non-physical energy. You are indeed an extension of that which we are. We are known as teacher, and we are known as Abraham, and we are together because of our matching intentions and desires. The fact that you chose this pile, I do think that you were meant to be here and meant to hear this message. Let this be a sign to you. Let this be a sign to you that you and I are on the same spiritual path, the path of self-discovery and enlightenment. What you guys are an extension of is something that is non-physical, something that is everlasting. And yes, you will have you're everlasting in that respect. But to go back to what I was saying regarding us just not be us, we are not indestructible with the malady card coming out. I just realized I didn't hold all of this up. So let me just go through them really quick. It was haughtiness, which is pride, young woman, falseness, lover, pleasure seekers, malady, and constancy. So we're talking about the malady card right now. And as I was saying, we are not all indestructible, and we will not be forever young. So it's important to seize the day. say what you need to say and say what you want to say, and really see the power, that the power that's in the present moment, the power that's in taking action, that's taking action right now. The complacency is getting to be a burden. So constancy here represents a situation that does not change, it is not moving. Going back to, the love story that I was talking about earlier, if this is a vicious cycle with this person, it's constant. It's constant, day in and day out, and this also here is about complacency, that it's important to not get comfortable. So seize the day, get some, pep in yourself. Uh, um, when I was really, really young, my mom, used to always say, like shake up yourself, get ready, get going, get started. It just made me think of that. You have what you need. And there isn't an excess of indulgence, there's an excess of relaxing. You know what you're capable, you guys know what you can do. You are infinite, most definitely. And there will be a life after this one. But make the most of the one that you're living right now. All right. That was your reading group number 4. Thanks so much for joining me here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.